This is very impromptu, but it's Gronk time. We're here where we always are, San Juan, Puerto Rico. We got 3 matches on the docket tonight. To start things off, as always, we have the usual match, the Gronk Classic. We're going to be starting off the night with Mr. Green versus Matrix Unlimited. Nothing says Gronk quite like Mr. Green taking on Matrix once again to open off the show. Now, we got 3 interesting matches tonight, 3 grudge matches, so this is going to be a very big, very important episode of Gronk. We're trying to get this done as quickly as we can, so hopefully we're able to get through everything in a reasonable amount of time. Green and Matrix Unlimited have had a feud the entirety of the 5th edition of Stronk. They have hated each other since day 1, and neither one has been able to permanently get the upper hand on the other. So, this match will just be one more stepping stone in this feud to determine who is the greatest member of Gronk. Mr. Green already in the ring, ready to get things started. Here comes Matrix, and Matrix is sprinting down to the ring. He's already in, and he takes him down, double leg takedown, and he's raining fists on him with a Luthez press. Oh my god, just raining so many fists. Jeff making sure that they're both alright, but it looks like the match is still gonna happen. Is he gonna ring the bell? No, he's not rung the bell yet, but is the match has it begun? Jeff looks like he's officiating the match, so I think it's begun. My god, Mr. Green, even though he did not have the upper hand, he's ready to fight back right now against Matrix, but he's not able to take Matrix down with that knee strike. He's going for a belly to belly, but Matrix was ready for it. Oh, and he looked for a big boot there. But Mr. Green, just scraping the back of Matrix. Matrix, with the power advantage, though, pushing down Mr. Green before he can get any more offense in. Oh, and a massive lariat just takes down Mr. Green. But Mr. Green back up to his feet. Snaps him down. The snapmare elbow. Now he's picking up Matrix. Now Mr. Green has the momentum. He's going to want to keep Matrix on the ground, so I don't know if I agree with picking up Matrix like that. But here he goes. He still has the advantage right now. Oh, just as I say that, Matrix swings it back in his favor. Oh, and a stunner. An Irish Whip reversed into the corner by Mr. Green. Mr. Green starting to strike him. It looks like he's going to rain some fists down in the corner. Oh no, he didn't even get to do a second one from the top. Matrix pushes him down. He goes and he's picking him up, but Mr. Green slips out. A kick to the back of the leg. An elbow drop. Those elbows, the bionic elbows by Mr. Green, are incredibly dangerous. You're going to want to avoid them at all costs, but Matrix is just destroying it right now. I thought perhaps he was going to be going for the camel clutch, but he just sits on him. He's going to be putting him against the ropes, it looks like here. He's going to Irish Whip him off the other ropes. And I tries to go for another massive boot, but Mr. Green is just too ready for it. But he succeeds with that move. Now he's going for the pin. That was not a signature nor a finisher, but will it be enough to take down Mr. Green? It is not. Barely a 1 count. Matrix looking to pick up Mr. Green. No, he's going to put him in a submission hold. Will Mr. Green submit to Matrix right now? He's really wrenching that one in. This looks incredibly painful for Mr. Green. Oh, he's just still wrenching it. But it looks like it's not going to work. Oh! I thought maybe he was going to let him go, but Mr. Green fights out of it instead. Oh, and a punch, and multiple punches. Charging this one up. Strikes by Mr. Green, takes down Matrix, and Matrix is already finding a way to get back up to his feet, but Mr. Green may be looking for the bionic elbows. He is. 2, 3, and to finish it off, a 4th bionic elbow, and he's going to be going for the pin. He's going to drag him into the center of the ring. Will Matrix be able to kick out of the bionic elbows? 1, 2, yes, he is able to force that right shoulder off of the mat. Mr. Green is absolutely shocked that his rival is still able to get up after that, but Matrix now takes control of this match, the momentum in his favor. Matrix, he went for his signature, but I think he caught Jeff more than he caught Mr. Green with that, but Mr. Green was still not down long enough. Mr. Green getting up to his feet. Oh, Matrix went for his finisher, but Jeff's down. He can't go for the pin. Jeff's down. Wait! Jeff to make up for lost time. Oh no, he did it! 1, 2. Oh! If he could have gone for that pin immediately after doing the move, if Jeff was only up, if he had not hit Jeff with that signature, I think the match would have been over by now. But oh, now it looks like Matrix takes off the turnbuckle pad out of the corner. Oh, tried to go for a drop kick there. Oh, a chop to the chest, and he finally hits the massive boot that he was looking for all match. Just stomping on Mr. Green, tearing him limb from limb. It's a leg drop? Is it an elbow? No, it's a leg drop. Oh, Jeff putting on the turnbuckle pad. Oh, and now Matrix just taking control of this match. Ever since that signature connected, it has just been Matrix's match. Mr. Green needs to do something to get back in this competition, though. Mr. Green with a strike, but he just can't do anything to take Matrix down. Oh, Matrix overpowers Mr. Green there. Dragging him to the center here. Dragging him to the corner, it looks like. Oh, a stump puller right there. Matrix signaling to the audience that this one could be the end. The crowd getting excited, but Mr. Green gets up. Mr. Green now getting excited, raising his fist in the air. Mr. Green with a simple stomp before picking up Matrix. What's he going to do next? Oh, he clotheslines and another clothesline, but Matrix just keeps getting up. Matrix goes for one of his own, but he does not succeed. Another clothesline from Mr. Green, and now suddenly things are looking fantastic for Mr. Green. A strike, a strike, a strike, a strike. One more. Charging it up. Another charge strike. This could be the end of the match. He's going for something. No, it looked like he might have been ready to hook the leg, but Matrix fights him off, just slamming his face into the mat. Matrix now has this match in hand, calling out to the crowd, the Stronk universe. Oh, takes down Mr. Green with a clothesline. Now, just like what we saw earlier, a clothesline to a massive kick, rather than a third clothesline. Oh, and he tries to go for his signature once again, but it looks like Mr. Green was ready, and he just moves out of the way. Mr. Green with the bionic elbows! Mr. Green drops his 4 bionic elbows. He's dragging Matrix into the center of the ring. This has got to be the end of the match. 1, 2... No! 2.9. Photo finish almost, but Matrix able to get his shoulder off the mat. This match continues. The bitter hatred that these two superstars have for each other is really showing in this match. Oh, and another massive stun, lifting him up from a suplex, and this could be it. 1, 2. No! Mr. Green also kicks out. They just don't know how to keep each other down for the count. Looks like Matrix is going for another nice simple snap suplex. And now Mr. Green slowly getting to his feet, but Matrix is preparing something big, hoping to end the match with this move right here. Oh, and he takes him down. Matrix is going to have to go for the pin here. 1, 2, 3. Matrix has defeated Mr. Green. Fantastic work from Matrix for winning this blood feud that the two have with one another. Matrix is really looking to take this feud all the way, and though it has lasted almost since the very beginning of Stronk 5, Matrix is hoping to end it in his favor. That was the first match of 3 of the night. We got 2 more coming up. Up next, the former Gronk World Champion faces the current Gronk World Champion. A bitter hatred has come between these two men. Mr. X, the former champion, takes on Democrates, the current champion. Mr. X feels embarrassed that he lost the championship to someone who is lesser competition, someone who is at the bottom of the rung. He thinks Democrates is a garbage character. He thinks Democrates doesn't even deserve to be in Stronk. If he's able to win the Gronk World Championship as soon as he can, that he'll feel like his job is truly complete. But this is not for the championship. This is a non-title match, but this is just an opportunity for Democrates to prove that he is worthy and that he does deserve to be the Gronk champion. Mr. X, incredibly dominant every single time he fights during Gronk. When he was champion, it was a reign of terror that only ended because of Democrates himself. And now, hoping to get revenge, Mr. X is ready to destroy Democrates in this match. And here comes Mr. X. Pardon me. Mr. X doesn't make very many enemies, but he has one. I wouldn't even call Democrates an enemy, I would call him a target from Mr. X right now. Mr. X coming to the ring first. Now, if I was Democrates, I would not want to come here. Oh, it's Kuzenbo! What's Kuzenbo? Kuzenbo has a steel chair. He's coming up behind Mr. X. My God! Kuzenbo, what are you doing? Kuzenbo is here. Mr. X, ready to be on the attack, but Kuzenbo is taking down Mr. X, but Mr. X fighting back. What is Kuzenbo even booked to be on the card tonight? Kuzenbo wants a piece of Mr. X, it seems. A chop from Mr. Pick up Kuzenbo, but Kuzenbo just too big. Looks like Mr. X has other problems to deal with right now. Besides Democrates, Kuzenbo making a surprise appearance here. Gronk episode 22, and he throws Kuzenbo in the ring. This may not be his scheduled opponent, but he's the enemy now. Mr. X taking down Kuzenbo with a massive slam. Democrates hasn't even from backstage yet. Democrates is still behind the curtain, but now we just have Kuzenbo fighting Mr. X in the center of the ring. Oh, it looks like Mr. X is trying to get any offense going, but Kuzenbo is excellent at reversing these strikes. Kuzenbo with a massive spine buster onto Mr. X, and it looks like Kuzenbo definitely got the upper hand here. What could this mean? Why did Kuzenbo attack Mr. X? I suppose only time will tell, but this is a shocking revelation. We're gonna have to continue on with the night, with the scheduled main event. The main feud on Stronk has found its way into Gronk. Pat and Matt McMuscles have had a blood feud recently. They have despised one another. Formerly the greatest friends in all of Stronk, now bitter enemies, fighting over the Stronk World Championship. Matt McMuscles looking to regain his position as the top star in Stronk, wanting to leave Stronk when his contract expires, but he wants to leave with the Stronk World Championship around his waist. The person standing in his way of accomplishing that goal is Pat, his former best friend, Pat Boyven. Is Pat going to continue to get Matt McMuscles off of his tail? Pat has gotten the upper hand on Matt in almost all of their most recent encounters. But Matt is starting to get annoyed. He's starting to get furious because of Pat. Will Pat be able to withstand it once again here on Gronk episode 22? Or is Matt finally going to get the big win that he needs in this feud? We're going to find out right next in the main event of Gronk episode 22.
Making his way to the ring, accompanied by Paige. And from Montreal, Quebec, Canada, weighing in at 130 pounds, the men's heavyweight pure champion, and one half of the champions. Ha!
A fan favorite here in Stronk is Pat. Everybody loves Pat. He won 2 matches at the most recent Stronkomania. He is one half of the double Gronk champions. Him and friend Wooly Madden. They make up the team, Chewy and Fuckface. But more importantly, for this specific match, Pat is the Stronk World Champion facing his former best friend, Matt McMuscles, in this untitled match. This has been a massive feud that has been building up for so long. It's going to come to a head very soon. Matt looking to gain back momentum that he has lost because of Pat, looking to regain the Stronk World Championship, which he has also lost because of Pat. Everything that Matt has lost, he blames Pat for. Now he's looking to get it back. Matt, a very focused and determined individual. He looks to destroy every person who steps in the ring with him. He's not a wrestler. He's a fighter. Pat. And he believes he's going to win every single time. Pat may have had the upper hand recently, but Matt is going to change that here tonight. That is his goal. That is his mission. Definitely a controversial figure here in Stronk is Matt McMuscles. Taking on such a fan favorite as Pat is going to be very difficult for him to overcome, especially with the crowd definitely on Pat's side here tonight. But Matt doesn't care about the crowd reaction. But you can definitely hear that the crowd here tonight, as always, in the same corner as Pat. But Matt doesn't care. He's just stomping on his former best friend, kicking him. Sitting there waiting for Pat to get up. It looks like he was going for a strike, but he might have just missed. I think he was overestimating Pat's height. Pat is incredibly short. He's a manlet. But Pat goes for these kicks, but it's only strengthening Matt with a massive clothesline, taking down Pat once again. Pat is accompanied by Paige, whom he loves very much. Though Paige did have a bit of a crossover with Ichabod Crane earlier, Pat successfully won her back. Pat is used to fighting for what matters to him, and this is no different. Pat needs to beat Matt, because if Matt starts to gain momentum, Matt is absolutely unstoppable, as we saw in Stronk 4.0, when the Bible Black Club completely took over, winning every championship in Stronk simultaneously. This is what happens when you allow Matt McMuscles to gain momentum, but Pat is trying to put out that flame before Matt's contract expires and he leaves Stronk. A massive by Pat, and the crowd is starting to get really fired up as Pat is beginning to gain the momentum in this match. Everything's starting to shift in his favor, but a shoulder tackle by Matt shuts that down. Pat rolls out of the ring, starting to get up on the apron. What's Matt going to do here? He's just waiting there. A massive punch knocks Pat down, and Matt is getting up to the top rope, but Paige helps up Pat. But, oh! A disqualification! As Matt has clotheslined Paige from the top rope. This match has ended prematurely. Pat wins via disqualification. Now that is... that's a kind of hollow victory for Pat, so I expect that he's looking for something more significant in the coming weeks. But that does not change the fact that the winner of the Gronk episode 22 main event is Pat Boyven. Thank you for watching. It has been a very confusing night here for Gronk. We hope you enjoyed, and we will see you for the next event in Stronk Rumble.